Hi everybody, it's Tracy from Yoga Within. Today we're going to do a little mini tutorial on a pose called Parsvakonasana, or extended side angle pose. And you'll probably recognize it, you've probably done it in a class. I'm just going to break it down a little bit so you have some options to actually get into it, because the full pose is fairly challenging, and there's ways to get into it where you will feel okay in it. So let's just start with widening the feet. I'm going to show you the full pose and then we'll break it down. So basically we're coming into a warrior two position. You take your hand to the outside of the foot on the mat and then lift the other arm over your ear, opening the torso. So that's the full pose. And we're going to do a couple things to get us there, okay? So let's keep the feet nice and wide, and we're going to come into warrior two first. This is always a good way to introduce ourselves to this pose. If you have done the tutorial on the warriors, that might help you with a little more detail of how to get into warrior two. So we're going to turn the left toes in. We're going to turn the right toes out. Let's keep our hands at the hips. We're going to bend the right knee. So you want to make sure that the torso is open to the front and that your knee is over your ankle, opening up that knee towards the baby toe. So let's come into warrior two, opening up the arms, softening your shoulders here, and taking the gaze over the right hand. And just breathe here. Now, the first step to come into Parsvakonasana is to lean towards the right, and you'll gently place the right arm on the leg. Now, you don't want to be really leaning and scrunching that shoulder at all. You want to keep the shoulder away from the ear, and you don't want to put too much pressure on. If you are leaning here, you should be able to lift up that arm. And Tracy, keep moving because you're getting tired in this pose, right? So from here, then you can lift up the left arm over the ear, reaching the hand away. Now press down into that left heel, reach the other hand over your head so you have a nice long line, and then start opening that torso to the side. Breathe here. Good. From here, you can lift back up to warrior two, so the legs haven't moved. Hands to the hips, straighten the right leg, and let's do the same on the other side. So turning the right toes in, turning the left toes out. Let's bend that left knee, so we're in warrior two on this side. So turn the torso to the front, reach the arms out to the side, and we'll do the same thing we just did on the other side. So taking that arm towards the left leg, again, try not to lean into the shoulder. Take the ear and the shoulder away from each other and keep this nice and light. Now lift that arm over the ear, open up the torso again, maybe drop down through the hips and breathe. And you are in Parsvakonasana. Keep pressing down through that right heel and baby toe. Make sure that left knee is over the ankle and not turning in. Good. Come on back up. Good, and just take the hands to the hips, walk the feet in. So that's the first step of Parsvakonasana, a modification that you can do in any class. Let's do another modification. So let's open up the feet again. This time you're going to use your block. So let's turn the left toes in, right toes out, and we're going to bend that right knee to come into warrior two, and the block is going to be on the outside of your right foot. So feel free to have it nice and high if you like. You might want to take it down to the middle level, or you could have it all the way down. It just depends on how you're feeling in a day, and it might just be a gradual thing to get into. So let's come into warrior two. Open up those arms, turn the torso to the front, make sure that knee is in line. Now take your gaze down towards the block. Don't move your legs, but take your hand towards the block and then lift up the arm over the ear. So again, you're not crunching into that shoulder. See if you can keep the hand really light on the block. As you lift up, reach over, press the left heel down, and maybe lower those hips even more as you open the torso to the front. Breathe here. Good. So let's come up. You're going to bring your block with you. Turn the right toes in, left toes out. Bend the left knee to come into warrior two on this side, and just place your block down. I'm just going to put it down a little bit lower this time, just to show you a difference. And let's open up the arms coming into warrior two. So it's a great pose to start here, right? And then go into Parsvakonasana because you're leaning into it. Leave the legs where they are. Take the gaze down, take the hand to the block. Lift the right arm over the ear, opening the torso. Good. Breathing, pressing down to that right heel, dropping the hips down. So you've got this nice line from the hand all the way down to the heel. Good. Come all the way up. Good. And there is another modification. I'll show you another one now. So this time, you're going to really feel your hips, aren't you, with this? We're going to come into warrior two again, turning the left toes in, right toes out, bending the right knee. This time you're going to take the block to the inside of the foot. You get a little bit of a different sensation with this, but again, it's kind of a fun variation on the pose. So warrior two, dropping the hips down. Gaze down, take the hand to the block. Lift that arm over the ear. Now when you're in this position, you can really press the arm into the leg and the knee back into the arm, just to strengthen that part of the foundation of your legs. So opening up the torso, reaching the hand over, breathing here. Good, come on back up. You can bring your block with you, come over to the other side, place the block inside the left foot, reaching the arms, taking the gaze down. So you're not moving the hips, you're making sure the feet are solid. Now press that knee into the arm and the arm back to it, and then it helps you open up the chest. Then you can take that arm over, opening up the torso, breathing, and you're in a nice deep position here. Good. Let's come on back up, and we'll leave the block aside. One other variation that you can do that you might have to build up to is to come into a little bit of a bind in this pose. So back to warrior two. Here we are. We're going to lean forward. So you're going to try to get the shoulder down by the thigh, and then take the hand underneath, bending that elbow, reaching the hands back, and then opening up the torso. So you're trying to come back to having a nice line with the leg, with the torso. Breathing here, opening up the chest, keeping some weight in that back heel, and then coming back up. Same on the other side. So right toes in, left toes out. This will take some building up to, right? You want to do a lot of the other poses first, and then you can start opening up the shoulders and coming into that bind. So bending the left knee, dropping down. So this is where you can really practice with the block on the inside of the foot. Then you might be able to bring your hand to the floor, getting that shoulder way down, bending the elbow and taking it underneath to grab the hand, and then open up the chest so you're in line with the leg. Good. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. Keep those hips moving down. Open up the chest. Breathe, 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 breathe. Release. Come on back up. And walk the feet back in. So there you have it. A few things to play with. In Parsvakonasana, you'll really feel some opening through the hips, through the chest in that pose, and through the side, of course, extended side angle pose. So have fun playing with it, trying the different modifications. You may need to do a lot of those modifications for a long time before you go to the next step, and that's totally okay. Have fun with it, enjoy, and thanks for joining. We'll see you next time.